Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So I've been working on my throat chakra the last 20 minutes before I do your reading because my son isn't here and I didn't do any videos yesterday, and I'm realizing I haven't really used my voice for, I don't know, maybe close to 48 hours at this point. Maybe it's not quite that long, but since I've never experienced this before, it's not like me to not be talking. So yeah, I'm working on my throat chakra here. I'm going to do a reading for you. I'm going to use all Wild and Unknown. I have the Wild Unknown Oracle, Wild Unknown Tarot, and the Wild Unknown Pocket Size Edition of the Tarot. So Virgo, I'm going to shuffle it out. What comes out in the Oracle is kind of like the main energy. Main theme of your reading. It's a focal point even, I'm hearing. It's a focal point. It's a focal point. And then we'll get into the tarot and we'll go a little bit deeper into what this is going to be for you. Virgo. Sexy Virgo. Someone else had this. The dragonfly. Who else had that? I can't remember. The gazelle at the bottom. Right now, the dragonfly is just talking to me about the obvious, the obvious points that I get with this, which are partial metamorphosis. There's something that you're working through and you're almost completed through it. And when you do complete this metamorphosis, this transformation, you will see more clearly than what you see right now. Trying to see beyond illusions. But it's almost as if, with the dragonfly, it's, I can't remember what it's called in the water. I can't remember what it's called. When it's in its aquatic form as a baby, it comes out and on a dock or a post or something like that near the water, near the shore, and it'll dry out and then it hatches out into the dragonfly that it as opposed to a butterfly that goes into a chrysalis. It just kind of dries out the old skin. It's almost like you're kind of in that stage where the old skin is drying up and you can't really see. You can't see what the new path is in front of you or how things are going to look through. It even feels more like a new set of eyes, because I want to say the kind of eyes that I think that the aquatic stage of the dragonfly would have would be very different from what the eyes of the airborne dragonfly would have. So that's interesting too. So whatever metamorphosis you're going through, it's also transforming how you see things. How you see things outside of yourself. Even actually, yeah, even more than how you see things within yourself. The gazelle is at the bottom and that's it. This feels like something different from you. The underline. It feels almost to me this gazelle is going about its business. It's doing its stuff. It's sitting somewhere, in a safe area. It's watching over the plains and the sun is setting. It just has this feeling the sun sets, the sun rises. I do my thing. It's kind of, I almost want to say, this feels like an energy that you might be approaching. And I don't know if you're aware that you're approaching this energy or this energy is, I don't think this energy is aware that you're approaching it. That I feel very strongly about. That comes in very strongly. Because what I'm seeing, it's almost so the sun sets and this gazelle expects tomorrow to be very much like today was. Because yesterday was very much like today is, right? But there's a dragonfly that's about to come out. And this is going to be different. Because it's almost I feel like the gazelle has never seen a dragonfly. Where did the dragonfly come from? What is this? But yet, you're not quite there. And it is just going about its day. So it's almost a serendipitous meeting, perhaps. Something kind of serendipitous. So we're going to go into the tarot now, and I'm going to ask what you're being asked to release, what you're being asked to embrace, hidden factors that you are unaware of, and the energy that is approaching you. which is kind of interesting because I almost feel like your energy is approaching something. But let's see how that goes. Maybe the gazelle actually wanders down to the water side and finds you. I don't know how that works. Okay, Virgo, Virgo. What are you being asked to release is the Magician. I feel like I need to clarify for that because I feel like this has something to do with some point in manifestation that you're working on. And the release feels like utilizing some sort of element. It's the right time for something to be used. And what that is, I don't know. Because the Magician is sitting, I was about to say shitting. He's shitting here with all of these elements. It could be swords, it could be thoughts, it could be getting your thinking around something. It could be a pentacle, it could be investing in yourself or something around you. It could be a wand. It could be some sort of inspiration or drive towards action. The cups, it could be something emotional. I don't know. So let's keep going. What are you being asked to embrace? The Three of Pentacles. That's interesting. Oh, wow. It's almost like building something. What would a gazelle and a dragonfly build together? So unusual, this energy. Quite unusual. It's fire and air. So it really has the potential to take off. Fire and air, I think of hot air balloons, right? That, and it just causes air to expand and rise. So, and this is very mercurial. The Magician. Mostly associated with Gemini, but because it's Mercury energy, definitely you as well. So I don't know, it's something that you could be building with someone in the future, and this could really take off. A hidden factor that you're unaware of. Oh, it's the Empress. Wow, that could really take off. Energy that is approaching you. The Hierophant. Wow, this is big. All these cards are major arcana except what you should embrace, which is building something here. Moving beyond a mountain. Perhaps there's an obstacle or there's something that you're trying to solve. You can solve this outside of yourself if you use the right tool. Ah, the Ace of Wands is at the bottom. Maybe that's a bit of what it is. There's something inspiring here. Something that's been born within the self. This really has potential to take off. I feel like I should say it, like with the Hierophant sitting here as energy that is approaching you, it feels like something, I'm learning to talk again. Something that has to do with destiny. Right? And that's what this feels like. These two creatures living completely different lives outside of each other. But I feel like they're about to come together. And it almost feels like, I don't know. I don't know if you're, I know this one is not. This energy is, I don't feel like it is aware. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but maybe it's not aware of how close the timeline sits. Because they do sit and they watch. But it just feels like, you know, I guess too, because the area that I would think to find a gazelle would be in an environment where the weather is typically the same, day in and day out, and day in and day out, and day in and day out. I mean, until you specifically hit like the monsoon season or the rain season. So everything just feels like day in and day out for me to this gazelle. Maybe it is you. Okay, the Magician. What are you being asked to release? The Hanged Man. This is coming out of a standstill position. No longer watching and reflecting. Oh, but too, the dragonfly, like that's what I feel like. You're kind of wrapped up tightly here in your old skin. So you are being asked to pull out of this some sort of nymphal stage that the dragonfly would have been in, and to fly, to take flight here. Because the bat is also wrapped up tight. You're being asked to release this. It's the first step in manifestation for you. Or perhaps it's a concluding step. I don't know why I'm hearing that. It's a concluding step in some sort of manifestation. Tell me more about the Magician for Virgo. It's a concluding step. The Three of Cups. Bringing something together. The sun, the setting sun. Something about the setting sun. So I don't know if that is something that's going to take place for you. If you go for a walk when the sun is setting. If you're getting together with some friends when the sun is setting. The sun is also setting on some relationship or relationships here. So let's look at the embrace. The Three of Pentacles is the embrace. The Four of Swords. Okay, so this is working. This could be some sort of a healing project. This is working on something together to heal. Working on something together to heal. The Ace of Cups and the Two of Wands. Oh my goodness. You know what's really interesting? This combination feels like the point, because I don't see the similarity in these two. I still feel like they're two separate entities. But what is the similarity in them? It is something emotional. Because like these 2 points come together. But these 2 points come together on the other side of the mountain. So healing is on this side of the mountain. On the other side of the mountain is like a similar or the same emotional state. So embrace that. It's interesting. The gazelle and the dragonfly are quite different, but they have or they exhibit or they exist in after some sort of healing process that perhaps is significant through a challenge that on the other side, they are actually the same emotionally. It's almost like the blood that flows through them too, like just thinking of liquid and emotions. And you wouldn't know, but dragonflies do have blood. They do have blood in them, right? They kind of have blood, yeah. Interesting. Hidden factor that you're unaware of. The Empress. Well, that's the Ten of Pentacles. This is huge. I don't know what you could build here, but it's really big. It's really big, and it just keeps growing. But it's odd, right? You know, it kind of reminds me a bit of the Cancer reading I did with their prairie oyster. It was like something really coming to them quite beautiful and profound. But, y'all, it's really different from how you're expecting it to come to you. As it like it's too. Like if this gazelle has been waiting for something day in and day out and day in and day out, it approaches in the form of a dragonfly. I'm like, what the hell? What is that thing? But yet, inside they're exactly the same. And this is something that can really take off. There was more cards that wanted to come out with that. The Empress. Hidden factor that you're unaware of. The Ten of Pentacles. The Seven of Wands. The hidden factor that you're unaware of. There could be, or could have been some sort of, I want to say could have been, because I'm getting like a final step in a manifestation practice. So both of these feel like they would be like protected, crystallized in the hard skin, and this one in the hard old skin that's going to hatch out of. And in this guy here, like part of the release is to unwrap yourself from this, is to unwrap, is to no longer be an observer, to be someone who's taking action. And this is almost like opening up your perspective, opening up your perspective and taking down any walls, any shields, taking anything like that down. So the energy that is approaching you is the Hierophant. Is the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. It's odd. Like, just looking at this is weird. In terms of like a relationship, because I try to keep my mind open and all the different things that I'm looking at here, there is some sort of a dynamic here, a relationship dynamic between these two energies. And this to me is weird. It's almost like something is available to you. Someone is single and you don't know that, or you didn't know that, like just on a relationship level. So that's really like obvious with those two cards. So the energy that is approaching you though too is something that is, to me, the Nine of Pentacles is, oh, it's the Empress in waiting. There's something really big going on here for you, Virgo. Like something's about to shift dramatically, a very big change. And you're going to shift with it. Like, I think that you will even go beyond the dragonfly energy. Or perhaps, like, a dragonfly, I don't know, are there dragonflies in Africa? I just think it's, for the most part, so dry that it would be rare to see a dragonfly. So it's almost too like you are a rarity in some sort of environment, or an environment that someone else is in. And this other energy or this person, they are like, everything is the same day in and day out. But then this dragonfly appears and I feel like you're the dragonfly. And yet it's like when you fly into this environment, there is such an amazing potential for creation. Almost as if like the gazelle somehow has an ability, even if it's the first time it's seen a dragonfly, to go, holy crap, that's pretty amazing. That's really special. I gotta follow that dragonfly and see where it takes us. You know, as opposed to some might go, oh my God, it's a dragonfly, kill it. Really interesting. So again, the energy that is approaching you is destiny. Destiny is walking towards you. And the hidden factor that you are unaware of is that there is going to be a huge elevation in perhaps what you've been able to create up to this point in your life and what you're going to be creating moving forward. Because there's going to be an elevation with this energy that approaches you. Oh my gosh, too, right from the Nine of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. The Empress in waiting to the Empress. What the hell's at the bottom? The Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords. Wow, check this out. So typically I would stop because that's the only one in the upright. But then you have the Nine of Swords. The Two of Cups is in the reverse. And the Three of Swords is in the upright, sitting behind that. This has a little bit of a feeling of your mind has manipulated your heart. Your mind has manipulated your heart. Now, before we go, I want to just pull something out for the dragonfly. Actually, I'm going to do it for both of them. You go down there, you go down there. You came out first, you go next. Okay, the dragonfly. The dragonfly. The dragonfly. Oh my God. That's, well, I don't know what this, whoa. Look at the Six of Wands and the Four of Wands. See, there it is, like taking flight, the elevation. And the Four of Wands. I don't know, if some of you are not in any sort of a relationship at all, whether this is romantic, business, friendship, there's a huge something coming towards you and it just elevates and elevates and elevates. And it's a celebration. There's nothing to be discovered in this except like you soaring and feeling, I guess in some way, like complete, oh, what you can't see is what you're about to become. Well, that makes sense. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, because look at the dragonfly. I've always been curious about this blue triangle that sits in front of him. And then yet, the dragonfly has bits of green in his wings. Yeah, it's like looking at it upside down. It becomes a butterfly. And it becomes this blue butterfly with a bit of green iridescence. So, okay, I feel like you are perhaps been going through some sort of change, like a big change, a big adjustment. Like you're going from one species, you're still the same species, but you're going from one cycle in that species's life to another, and thinking that that's all there is. But there's like, it's almost like a whole other life. It's a whole other life, because you will become the butterfly. You will do a complete metamorphosis here. You will elevate metamorphically. Oh yeah, sorry, gazelle. The gazelle. The gazelle. The Father of Wands in the Chariot. Dang. That's some powerful energy. Maybe this gazelle is coming towards you. I don't know. Because that's got movement all over it. That's like empowerment. That could even be like just the underline of you too. Like this is really empowering energy. Very empowering. Tons of movement that comes in with it and after it. Until then, you have the Nine of Wands at the bottom. Oh, you had the Nine of Swords at the bottom, and now you have the Nine of Wands. But I feel like you're almost at the top of the stairs. Or maybe you feel like everything in life is always climbing upstairs. But the butterfly, transforming from the dragonfly to the butterfly, to me, feels a little bit more like, oh, there's some staircases and some mountains that have escalators. They don't all have stairs. Some of them actually have escalators. Well, that's interesting. Okay, Virgo, I'm going to go do the extended. I have to flip this over because it's... What do I do over there? Yeah. So, okay. In the extended, I'm going to look at what the universe is challenging you with right now. Okay, what the universe is challenging you with. How would old you respond to that challenge? And then we will ask, how does the universe recommend that you respond to this challenge, like in your higher good? And then we'll see how you will actually respond. So it's kind of easy to look at how old you would respond, what the higher good response is, and then how you will respond right now. Thank you so much, Virgo. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.